Haile Selassie I, born Tafari Makonnen on July 23, 1892, in Aharsaguro, a small village in the Harar region of Ethiopia, was one of the most significant and influential figures in Ethiopian and African history. His life was marked by a rise to power in a deeply traditional society, a transformative reign as Emperor of Ethiopia, and an enduring legacy that continues to resonate today. Haile Selassie was born into the Solomonic dynasty, which traced its lineage back to the biblical King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. His father, Ras Makonnen, was a governor of Harar and a close ally of Emperor Menelik II, while his mother, Yeshimebet Ali, was of noble descent. Tafari grew up in a privileged environment, receiving a traditional Ethiopian education alongside exposure to Western ideas and languages, particularly French. From a young age, Tafari was groomed for leadership. He was appointed governor of a minor province at the age of 13 and steadily rose through the ranks of Ethiopian nobility. His intelligence, diplomatic skills, and ability to navigate the complex Ethiopian court earned him a reputation as a capable leader. In 1911, Tafari Makonnen married Menon Asfaw, a niece of Emperor Menelik II. Their marriage was both a personal and political alliance, as Menon's royal connections bolstered Tafari's standing in the Ethiopian nobility. The couple had 6 children, and their marriage was viewed as harmonious, with Menon playing a supportive role throughout Tafari's rise and reign. Tafari's path to power continued as he was appointed regent, Ras, in 1916 after Empress Zaditu, Menelik I's daughter, took the throne. Although Zaditu was the empress, Tafari effectively controlled the government, introducing modernizing reforms and strengthening Ethiopia's ties with the West. He championed education, infrastructure development, and the gradual centralization of power, setting the stage for his eventual ascent to the throne. On November 2, 1930, following the death of Empress Zaditu, Tafari Makonnen was crowned Emperor of Ethiopia and took the name Haile Selassie I, meaning Power of the Trinity. His coronation was a grand affair attended by international dignitaries, symbolizing Ethiopia's emergence as a modern, sovereign state. As emperor, Haile Selassie continued his efforts to modernize Ethiopia. He also focused on expanding education, modernizing the military, and improving infrastructure. Haile Selassie's reign faced its greatest challenge in 1935 when Italy, under Benito Mussolini, invaded Ethiopia. Despite Ethiopia's valiant resistance, the country was occupied by Italian forces in 1936, and Haile Selassie was forced into exile. He addressed the League of Nations in a historic speech, appealing for international support and condemning the use of chemical weapons by the Italians. His speech made him a global symbol of anti-fascist resistance. In 1941, with the help of Allied forces, Haile Selassie was restored to the throne after the defeat of Italian forces in Ethiopia. He resumed his modernization efforts and played a prominent role in international diplomacy, becoming a founding member of the United Nations and a leading advocate for African independence and unity. His vision for a united Africa led to the establishment of the Organization of African Unity, OAU, in 1963, headquartered in Addis Ababa. Despite his achievements, Haile Selassie's later years were marked by growing discontent within Ethiopia. His modernization efforts had not significantly improved the lives of many Ethiopians, particularly the rural poor, who faced poverty, landlessness, and famine. The 1973-1974 famine in Wollo, which claimed the lives of thousands, further eroded his popularity and exposed the weaknesses of his administration. In 1974, amid increasing unrest and military discontent, Haile Selassie was deposed in a coup led by a Marxist-Leninist military junta known as the Derg. The emperor, once revered as the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, was placed under house arrest in the Grand Palace in Addis Ababa. Haile Selassie died on August 27, 1975, under mysterious circumstances while still under house arrest. The official cause of death was reported as respiratory failure, but many believe he was assassinated by the Derg regime. His body was buried secretly, and it was not until 1992 that his remains were exhumed and given a proper burial in Addis Ababa's Holy Trinity Cathedral. Haile Selassie's legacy is complex and multifaceted. To many, he remains a symbol of African independence and unity, a champion of modernization, and a global statesman. He is also revered as a messianic figure by Rastafarians, who regard him as the returned Messiah prophesied in the Bible. However, his reign is also criticized for autocracy, inadequate responses to poverty and famine, and the lack of meaningful political reform. Today, Haile Selassie is remembered as a towering figure in Ethiopian and African history, whose life and legacy continue to inspire and provoke debate across the world.